when the movie came out, for weeks, I went from theater to theater to theater, seeing the movie with different audiences. And I didn't want to watch the movie anymore. I'd seen it way too many times at that point. I just wanted to watch the audience, right? Like that's what I was digging. And I can't tell you the number of standing ovations the movie got. That doesn't happen. Like how many times you see that happen? Where everybody leapt out of their seats cheering that this moment, came to pass. And so, while, yes, there were bro dudes who hated that I made Jason body hop and all that stuff, which I respect. I get it. It's okay. I get it. I've got my whole list of what I ask haters, and it makes their argument pretty shaky pretty quickly. But people were split on the movie. So there was a lot of people who just freaking loved the movie. Here's the thing that happened. The internet happened. And suddenly there was this douche nozzle who, by the way, there's a great story about this guy. There's an amazing story about the douche nozzle. This douche nozzle put up this video that was how New Line destroyed the Friday the 13th franchise.
Right.
And that video went viral. And suddenly that was narrative. And I start getting shit hammered. And I was like, what is happening? Like, when did this happen? And again, I knew it was divisive. Yay. I love divisive. Like, I love that the film is still divisive because it's accepted in the zeitgeist. People talk about this movie. You don't see a lot of discussion boards about part 3 or part 7. People just ain't talking about it. But they're talking about Jason Goes to Hell. They're getting into tremendous fights over this movie, which, by the way, is kind of awesome for a filmmaker. Because you want people passionate. I don't care whether you're passionate, love it or hate it, but you want people to have a reaction. That's the only reason to make movies, is to get a reaction from the audience, especially if you're making horror movies, for the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not look. I expected a number of people to be pissed. I didn't expect how many people were going to be pissed, and I sure as shit did not see that wave coming. What's great, however, much like Halloween 3 or any maligned entry of one of these films.
Yeah, what a film.
Right? What ends up happening is the people who love it really love it, and they dig in. They are ticks for that movie, man. They ain't moving. Yeah. And suddenly that joy that they find in that movie starts to become contagious. And more people look. Do you know how many fans I have that Jason Goes to Hell was their first Friday film?
Yeah,
it's their first. Yeah. And suddenly they look at Sean's movie from 13 years earlier, and they go, "This is boring. I hate this. Yep. Why aren't there demons and people throwing up shit and like what? Why isn't anybody eating any hearts? Nobody melted in this movie. Why am I watching this?" So it does change. Look, we changed the franchise enough that if your entry point is my film or even Tommy's film, part 6, right? If you come in on part 6, part 9 is the spiritual sister of part 6. Like that's the only movie that I went, okay, I need to adhere to everything Tommy did, which I did.
Right.
Right. So
that's fascinating. Yeah, is that something, Jed, that you kind of admire now as a writer, the risk side of things? Is that something that draws you to this film?
100%, because I think Adam's right. I am actually not the biggest fan of the entire franchise. I think it is very repetitive. Whereas the Nightmare on Elm Street films, they take wild swings. Like every sequel, some of them are not great, but at least they take wild swings. With a lot of the Friday the 13th films, it's just a rinse and repeat, which is why Jason Goes to Hell is completely different. Those swings are the big swings, and I think they all work. It's the most interesting Friday the 13th film out of all of them, I find. It tried to do it from, I don't know, I'm speaking to the director, so I'm probably preaching to the choir here. But I feel like it did a few things that the others didn't, which is try to explain Jason a little bit more and how he could do these crazy things. Try to install some kind of mythology to course correct, the previous films. And And you know, I'm just the biggest fan of Erin Gray as well. Like,
Ugh.
I don't think she gets enough love, because you know I'm a big Buck Rogers fan, and you know, absolute mega crush on Erin Gray. So seeing her in this it just makes everything like a warm hug as soon as she's on screen. um, but no, I just love it, and obviously this was way before Scream, and but this feels very meta, and not meta for the sake of it. It feels very clever with it as well. You know, the whole opening sequence is just brilliant, just brilliant. And sometimes when I'm writing something, I think I come up with an idea, and I'm like, oh damn, that's from Jason Goes to Hell. Like, but that whole open is so brilliant, so well executed. And even like when I rewatched it a couple of days ago, I was just like, oh, man, this feels so fresh, like right now. Like it would work right now. Just so well done. And yeah, it's just fun as well, which a lot of the other Friday the 13th films aren't, because it's just, you know, Jason picking up a camper, throwing them against a tree. You know, this just is different. It's really interesting, and Duke's a really interesting character as well. And
dude, yeah.
yeah, like
Yes.
where's the Duke spin-off? That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
I've been working on it for years. I've been working for years with Steven.
Oh, amazing.
That's amazing. That's so interesting, because it also, he feels like a comic book character. Like I could see him on the front of a comic, you know, in silhouette, you know, kind of.
He's our nod. He's our nod to Dean Lorey and I are both Jaws obsessed and have been since we were kids. And so he's our nod to Quint. I mean, that's literally why he says, you know, for that money, I'll get you the mask, the machete, the whole damn thing. I mean, he quotes Quint. Because like, what movie isn't better without that character? Like, you have, like,
it's true.
I don't understand not having that character. By the way, you know what I love? I love that Obi-Wan Kenobi is Quint. Like, in structural sense, that's what he is. In the same way that Robert Shaw is. So we were like, we need our Robert Shaw. The other trick, so that you do know the where the impetus comes from, as far as, you know, making a not a sequel, but for my money, a whole new franchise with that character,